Hello everyone and welcome back to this Let's Play series of Star Trek Online. My name is Winters and you are very welcome. So for this episode we are going to focus on one of the very many systems that are in the game, or that is in the game, and this system is called the Duty Officer system. Now, if we click on this icon here, this will open up the Duty Officer window. So the question might be, what are duty officers, or what is the duty officer system? Well, you can look at duty officers as like your crew for your ship, not your bridge officers or your bridge crew, but the rest of the ship. That's how it's best to look at duty officers. When you complete the first mission playing on the Jem'hadar faction, you get this little package here, and if we double click on it, you can see, look, we get a bunch of duty officers. Up here, if we look in the top left hand corner, officer roster, we got 49. That was 0. And everybody starts out with 100 free duty officer slots. And you can expand that with purchases in the C store, as you can see here, either in blocks of 25 or blocks of 100. Yeah, everybody starts off with 100 free slots, and you can expand that further later on down the road if you want. Personally, I always like to expand my roster by 100, giving me a grand total of 200 slots per character. So anyway, right, so that's duty officers, basically, officers, the rest of the officers that are on your ship. And what you can do is you can actually send them away on missions, and that's what each one of these are. We scroll down here, we can see there's quite a wide variety of them. So, why would you want to do that? We can see here it says result. This is basically what happens when we send the required duty officers here in this case, which is either an advisor, a diplomat, any other civilian officer, and a security officer away on this mission. It will take 6 hours, and we will get 280 experience points, 33 expertise, we will get 151 development commendation XP, and 5 dilithium, as well as 20 energy credits. Okay, the 20 energy credits isn't that great of a deal. And you can see these all basically give the same stuff. You get experience points, you get expertise, you get what's known as commendation XP, you get dilithium, and maybe some energy credits on some of them. Other ones then, like this one here, you get special items, which will be stuff like maybe these warp coils, self-sealing stem bolts, terraforming systems, contraband. It could be anything. Right, the next thing I want to explain is this development XP, or more specifically commendation XP. So in this particular mission, it is called development XP. If we go up to this one here, you see it says 199, and the pop-up says trade XP. That's still commendation XP. If we click on overview, we can see here there's 11 different commendations. That's what these are. These are all commendations. So you have a marauding commendation, you have a science commendation, engineering, military, exploration, espionage, and so on. And every time you do a duty officer mission for a particular commendation, that XP will go in here and a bar will progress up. So let's say in the case of this mission here, okay, when we complete that mission, 199 XP will go into this trade bar here, and this can level up, and there are 4 ranks. There's rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4. 4 ranks in total, and each time you level up one of these commendations, there are awards that you get. So for example, if we click on marauding here, we can see here we get an accolade, we get a title, and then we also can select a single green quality duty officer. Just for getting to rank 1, which is 2500 XP, we get a free green quality duty officer, or an uncommon duty officer. Green is uncommon. When we get to rank 2, we get an accolade, we get a title, we get a personal ability, which is to transwarp to Romulan space, and we also get another green quality duty officer. Rank 3 is basically all the same stuff again, pretty much, except for the transwarp. And this time we get a blue quality duty officer, or a rare duty officer. And finally at rank 4 we get to select a bridge officer from an enemy faction, but there's actually a very rare duty officer in that as well. It's just not listed. If we look at any of the other ones, see here, select a single purple quality duty officer, which is very rare. And if we keep on going down, you can see, look, purple quality, they're all the same. So yeah, that's duty officer missions. Now the beauty about duty officer missions is once you set them up, the clock starts running and continues to run until the mission is finished, whether you are in the game or not. So let's say you only have 5 minutes to get onto the game. Alright, real life commitments are just getting in the way, and you've got 5 minutes that you can jump on the game. You can start up a default of 20 assignments. That can be expanded later on to 23 assignments, but we'll just stick with the base value, which is 20. It says it down here. You can set up 20 missions and log out of the game, and the countdown timer for each of those missions will continue to tick down even when you're not in the game. And the next time you come back into the game, they will be all there here in this completed window, ready for you to collect and gain all the rewards for completing those missions. So if you have a limited amount of time in game, the duty officer system is absolutely fantastic for continuing to basically earn currencies, because in a way experience points is a currency and expertise is a currency, and I just explained the commendation XP. Dilithium is obviously a very sought after currency, and in this case energy credits is obviously a currency. You continue to earn those even when you're not in game. So you could be leveling up even when you're not in game. Next time you come back to the game, you collect all the missions that you put on started, and you collect the rewards for all of them, and like your experience bar continues to level up, and you level up along with it. So yeah, I cannot overstate how good the duty officer system is. It is absolutely fantastic. It is brilliant. It is very, very useful. Now, this mission here stands out from most because it has 1 of 10, and that means that it is part of an assignment chain, and that there are 10 steps to that assignment chain. Now, to the best of my knowledge, there is a total of either 32 or 33 assignment chains in total throughout the entire game. That's all there is. There's 30. I'm pretty sure it's 32. It might be 33. But yeah, as I said, I'm pretty sure it's 32. And at the end of each assignment chain, there is a very rare duty officer for you. A free, very rare duty officer for you. Or, in some cases, a rare. Say, at the very least, there is a really, really good reward for finishing the assignment chain. I think there's like 1 or 2 that rewards an item, but all the rest are all either rare or very rare duty officers. And yeah, these are scattered throughout the galaxy on different maps. Not all of them have 10 steps. Some of them only have like 5. Some of them have 7. Some of them have 10. I don't think any have above 10. 10 steps, actually, now that I think about it. I don't think there's any above 10. Definitely no more than 12, anyway, to the best of my knowledge. I'd have to go back and look at that, or research it to find out for sure. But 10 is pretty much the highest that you can go to. Anyway, we're going to start this mission. And when we complete this mission, step 2 of 10 will become available. And if we go here to assignment chains, we can actually keep track of all the assignment chains that are currently in progress. So when this mission completes, it will appear here in assignment chains, and it will actually tell us what the name of the next mission is. So let's say in this case, for this one, alright, it was a development mission. And actually, I probably should have explained that better. This is going back to commendation. So here we can see a big title, marauding, meaning that these missions here are marauding missions. And remember, marauding is here. That's a commendation. Alright. Then we have science here. So any missions below here are science missions. And again, science is right here. And then we have engineering missions. And then we have exploration missions. And then we have trade and development. And as you can see, like, there's quite a few missing, like espionage, medical, colonial. I don't think exploration was in there. Oh no, exploration was. Anyway, not all of them are listed. This is just the available missions within the current sector or map where we are now. So that mission that we done was a development mission. So when it completes, the development XP will jump up by X amount. If we let's go to a different one. I know there's some here. Crap, I don't have enough duty officers to do them. Dang. Don't have enough for that one either. Crud. Alright, let's check medical, because I know there's one or two in there. Nope. Don't have the bits and pieces for that one either. Right. I'll tell you what do I need? I need 5 medical provisions and 10 antigens. Let's go to our replicator. 10 antigens and medical provisions 5. And we go back to medical. And we scroll down, and now we can start this mission, which is a 20-hour mission. So we see here we get 366 experience points, 43 expertise, 720 medical XP or commendation XP, 5 dilithium ore, and 20 energy credits. Now, this mission has 3 possible outcomes. You either have a critical success, a normal success, or a failure. A failure, we will get nothing. A normal success, you will get the normal rewards as listed here. Alright, you can see they match up. If, however, we get a critical success, and in this case we have a 24% chance of getting a critical success. Instead of getting 365 experience points, we will get 997. Instead of 43 expertise, we will get 119. Instead of 720 medical XP, we'll get 2,205. And instead of 5 dilithium ore, we will get 250 dilithium ore. And instead of 20 energy credits, we'll get 40 energy credits. Most missions have 3 possible outcomes. However, there are some missions that will have a 4th possible outcome, which would be disaster. Now, if you get a failure or a disaster, it's only possible with failures, pretty much guaranteed with disasters. What will happen is that one or more of the duty officers that were sent on the mission will get injured, and they will automatically go into a new duty officer mission that basically takes them off your roster, or off your available roster. You haven't lost them, don't get me wrong, you have not lost those duty officers. They're just unusable for 20 hours. Basically, they go into sickbay, and they're recovering after the disaster of a mission. And they got injured, and basically until they're healed up, you can't use them again. But once that 20 hours is up, you can use them again for whatever duty officer missions you want. You should never worry about losing duty officers to duty officer missions. You can't do it, alright? It's not possible for normal duty officer missions. Now, having said that, there are a very, very small number of duty officer missions that will actually permanently remove the duty officers from your roster. Those duty officer missions will have big, bold red text right up here saying, warning, this mission will permanently remove duty officers from your roster, or something to that effect. It's kinda hard to miss. So just be aware of that. And actually, here, I'm going to start this one and I'm going to see, it's not there, it might be here. There's one called execute, here, execute for incompetence, requires any civilian or officer. Click on it. Look, this crewman will be permanently removed from your roster. Big red writing. Alright, so whoever I pick, if I start that mission in 30 minutes, he is gone. He's just gone. He will permanently be deleted from my roster. This mission, execute for incompetence, is unique to the KDF faction. Obviously you wouldn't expect to get a mission like that on the Federation faction. So let's see, I want to start up a bunch of duty officer missions, see if actually we can get a rank or a 4. Here's a disaster one now, alright? So we have disaster, failure, success, and critical success. So if we got a disaster, which we only have a 1% chance, so it's probably not going to happen, one or more of these duty officers would, if we got a disaster and they were injured, would automatically be sent on a brand new mission. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it is now. It's a medical mission anyway, and basically the idea is that they're in sick bay and basically they're on sick leave, so you can't use them, and the mission lasts for 20 hours. Once the 20 hours is up, you can use them again. It was actually a very clever way of doing it, but that's neither here nor there. Right, start up another batch of duty officer missions, so we'll set up as many as we can. Wow, there's actually quite a few of them here. I wasn't expecting to be so many in marauding. This is great. Right, okay. Okay, so let's see. Duty officer missions, commendation XP, crit success, normal success, failure, disaster, assignment chains, and yeah, I've done that. Right, next thing is we are going to transwarp. By the way, this option up here is opens up the transwarp window, which is basically instantaneous travel to X location, and we have 3 locations available to us currently. This will expand as we continue to play throughout the game. So we're going to go to Kronos because we're aligned with the Klingon faction, and you'll see momentarily why we're going back to Kronos. There's a very specific reason why we're going there. This is actually our first time back to Kronos, or first time visiting Kronos. DS9 is the main hub for Jem'hadar characters, but because we're aligned with the KDF, there's certain things that you can only do at your faction's headquarters. So we are going down to the Klingon Academy. That's where we're heading to. Whenever it decides to load. There we go. Okay. I'm just trying to orientate myself. Alright, I know where I am. So basically you want to head west. Or east, sorry. East, not west. You want to head east. And go down this valley and go into this building here. And what we are doing is we are going to talk to this Imperial personnel officer. We chat to him and we click on submit request for personnel. Now what this does is offers you a way to recruit new duty officers for you for 100% free. Now this one here we are going to ignore, general recruitment, and the reason we're going to ignore that, I'm going to show you now, is because this one is actually not free. Okay, general recruitment costs 1,000 dilithium ore, or 1,000 refined dilithium, and in my opinion it is not worth it for a couple of random duty officers. It is just not worth it. Okay, so stay away from the general recruitment option, stay away from that one. However, tactical costs you nothing. You just get duty officers, experience points, expertise, commendation XP, and dilithium. The mission is 48 hours long. Okay, engineering is the same, science is the same, and civilian is the same as well. There is one more option here: request R&D assistance. Just like the general recruitment, that one costs 1,000 dilithium. Again, it is not worth it in my opinion, so skip it. So in 48 hours we are going to have, if we scroll down here, we're going to have 2, 4, 6, 8 new duty officers minimum. Now if we get a crit, we might end up with 3, and not all of them might be common. You might get lucky and get an uncommon or a rare. I've never seen a very rare, but I have seen up as far as a rare. So it is possible to crit even on these missions, and there's a 9% chance of that happening. Right, so we came out of that area there, we came up here, and here are 2 NPCs that you can talk to. The Gorn personnel officer, and if we click on Gorn conscription order, we can run another recruitment mission, and it will reward a special duty officer. Basically it's the same thing again, but this time the duty officer is guaranteed to be a Gorn. Okay, I have no idea if it's going to be tech, engineer, or science, or civilian, but it's going to be a Gorn. And the same thing again, you might crit on it and you might end up with 3 duty officers. A normal success is just 1. Alright, and we begin an assignment. Then we click out of that, and now we're going to talk to the Nausicaan mercenary contract, and begin, and there's another one. And that mission, or these missions, take 20 hours, where the ones from the Imperial recruitment officer below were 48. These ones, and here's the third and final one, the Orion personnel officer, you can see this one is also 20 hours. Now, these missions have a 24-hour cooldown, so it is extremely beneficial for you to get into the habit of coming to the Klingon Academy regularly. And how regularly, you might ask? I would say every 3 days. Alright? So these duty officer missions here that we started below with the Imperial duty officer last for 48 hours. Then they go on a 24-hour cooldown, and finally after the 3rd day you can do them again. So I would say get into the habit of coming back here once every 3 days and running all those missions I just done here at the Academy, and you will build up your roster in no time. It's just a very, very good habit to get into. Yeah, you will fill out your roster very quickly, and you won't have any problem doing duty officer missions whatsoever, I guarantee it. yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any other missions that we can do. I don't think so. Oh wait, I know one. I want to do this one. And there's one more I want to do up in space. Oh yeah, actually I'll show that to you now. Alright, so let's beam to Beta Quadrant. We're going to go back out to sector space. So our roster, we can see here's our roster. We currently have 49 out of 200. Remember I said earlier that I expanded this by 100 slots earlier. There's currently a sale on it, so that's why I've done it. So I can hold 200. Default is 100. Alright? When you create a new character and you open up the duty officer system, you get 100 duty officer slots. I expanded to 200. Anyway, you have a brig on your ship. When you get prisoners, this is where they will go. Alright, they will appear here in your brig. There's also passengers as well. And passengers are like, well, they're not like, but they are. They're colonists. And there's a mission that you can do to recruit colonists. And this is it here. Resettle colonists. Alright? Click on it. You will get 5 colonists from the mission. You get a bit of expertise, a bit of XP, a bit of commendation XP, a bit of dilithium, and a little bit of energy credits. There is either a disaster outcome or a success outcome. Believe me, you succeed more often than you get a disaster. The mission lasts 4 hours. Click begin. So when that mission finishes, we will get 5 colonists here in our passenger roster. These are separate and independent from the 200 slots that we have here. So is the brig. The brig is separate and independent from everything else as well. And you can hold up to 20 prisoners and 20 passengers. Alright? And both of those are separate from here, from your main roster. And that's how you recruit passengers. There are certain duty officer missions where you could end up recruiting and gaining a prisoner, and there's certain things that can be done with them later on down the road. But anyway, yeah, that is a basic introduction. Oh wait, one last thing. Clicking on department heads. So you have a number of department heads on your ship. So for example, you have your first officer, and you can set whoever you want to be your first officer, okay? For anyone that's interested in RP. And the options that you have to choose from are basically your bridge officers, okay? So we look at... crap. We look at this here, like so. ISO Rax, there he is there. Alright, so for some reason the system has picked him as our first officer. I don't like that. I'm gonna pick this dude. Alright, he's our first officer. And again, you can change all of these. You can have whoever you want as your engineering, your operations, science, medical, tactical, security, blah 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 blah. Anyway, each one of them can have separate and special assignments. So we click on assignments for him. Look, he's got a whole bunch of other assignments. If we click on engineering assignments, there's a whole bunch of them there. Science, same thing again. Whole bunch of science missions that are not included in the normal current map tab. See? Because if we go to current map, see, there's only what, a dozen missions. Now, remember what I was saying earlier about assignment chains? It's a pity I don't have one of them here unlocked, but when you're going through your assignment chains, once the first one appears here, you can click on it and expand it just like you can do this, okay? And when it's expanded, it will have the title of each of the following missions. So let's say there's 10 steps in it. It will have 10 titles, okay? listed there for you, and beside each one will be one of these different icons. Okay, and let's say it has this icon. Alright, that icon is for medical. That means that if you were looking for whatever that mission is, okay, you need to be looking here under your medical officer, under his assignments. Okay, and now it's not guaranteed that the mission will be there. It just means that that's where it will appear. Now here's the next thing. Here's the kicker, just to really confuse you. This is, well, alright, so here's the galaxy map. Okay, this here is the alpha quadrant. This here is the beta quadrant. This here is the delta quadrant. This here is the gamma quadrant. And this is the Milky Way galaxy as it currently stands. Now, if we go to the area map for the beta quadrant, this quadrant is divided up into what's known as sector blocks. Okay? So let's say here, this sector here, which is the Vulcan sector, right, which is this square here, right, this is the Vulcan sector. What's the name of this one here? Orion sector, and then the Risa sector. So these three sectors here are known as the Sirius sector block. These three, okay, together, Sirius sector block. These three are known as the Regulus sector block. When you cross the border anywhere here, from one to the other, the duty officer missions change. So if you were here and you cross this border and go here, there will be a brand new set of duty officer missions. Okay, they will change and update. And the beta quadrant is divided up into different sector blocks like that. So this is another sector block here. These three. This is a sector block here. These three. This is another sector block here. These three. I think this one is Taudewa. These are another sector block. These three. These six are a different sector block, and these six are a different sector block. Just for example, you can Google it and find out basically the shapes and where they're all situated. But whenever you cross the border from one to the other, your duty officer missions update. Also, in most cases, your department head duty officer missions also update as well. So remember I was saying with assignment chains, you will have a list of missions, and each of them will have a different icon beside them to say X mission is an engineering mission. You might have to be in a specific map or area in order to find that particular duty officer mission. You will have to do the research and most likely search STO Gamepedia to locate and track down the correct locations for each of the steps within that assignment chain. So for example, one of the assignment chains might be, let's say somewhere in the alpha quadrant, and it will only appear in the alpha quadrant, but it could be anywhere in the alpha quadrant. Okay, but it has to be alpha quadrant, guaranteed, but anywhere. Other ones might require you to go to a specific sector block. As I said, you will have to do the research and track them down. That's even if you're interested. You might give a crap, and do you know what? That's totally fine. But anyone that is interested, you can do that. Right. So that's duty officers and duty officer missions, and yeah, that's a basic introduction into them. So look, I guess we'll leave it there for now. Thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. The more interaction I can get on videos and indeed on the channel, it helps with YouTube searches and helps get the channel noticed and helps it grow. So I very much appreciate all of your support. And as always, please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. My name is Winters, and I'll catch you next time. So until then, take care. Adios.